Hello, everybody. Sword Sensei here, back at it again with another what if. This is a new what if. This is also disclaimers. None of these pictures belong to me, but I'm only gonna be using this one picture. And this is what if Deku was Discord. Um, so what Discord is? It's a Yarurozu project that Hasashi and Inko are doing. They're creating a sentient AI, and this is what Deku is going to be. He's a sentient AI. So yeah, okay, okay. Let's start off. Hisashi and Inko, they're in the lab. You know, they're trying to create a sentient AI, and they finally have a breakthrough. And they tell the Yaroses this, and the Yaroses are, happy that they went through a breakthrough. And no, Sashi and Iko didn't have kids. I'm just saying this. So they finally create a but they say that they have one small problem. Um, and the Yarozus say, what's the problem? Um, Inko says that what is it? That they have to raise it. They have to raise the AI instead of instead of sending it as an adult. And they ask why, and Inko says that if the AI isn't raised properly and we just give information about the real world, it might become a villain and destroy the entire world. Like Terminator. If you guys never watched Terminator, it's pretty good. I've watched all the movies. I know I'm the Terminator. I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. Wow. That's my best Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. Please, no one. Okay, shush. So this is Baby Deku, and so they decided. Oh, Inko and Hasashi are married, and so they decide to take care of the AI, which they actually gave the AI a name, Izuku Midoriya. They chose her last name because they asked the Yarozus if they could take care of the AI. And the Yarozus say, okay. So Deku, when he's first brought in, he sees people. He doesn't recognize anybody, and they're raising him from like a baby, so he can't speak. He can't walk. Well, he obviously can't walk. He's a sentient. He's an AI, but he can see, and hear, taste, and smell. Well, no, he can't. He can hear and see, and so I'm actually going to do something that's gonna make this like even more crazy. So, um, they take care of Deku for a couple years, and like until he's old enough to like walk and talk. They teach him about language and stuff because they're actually raising him as a proper child. So they do this, and once he gets to like I'm gonna say, you know what? Should I make this a college? No, I'm gonna save that for another what if, because I'm mostly gonna keep it in UA. I mean the canon, even though I do agree that with most what ifers or Shota Aizawa, shout out to him, because Shota Aizawa is a good what ifer. Go watch him. I actually have some ideas off him that I want to do. And shout out to Genki What Ifs and What If Karma. Shout out to them and What If God. Like go check out their channels because they're pretty good. Genki and Karma, Genki What If and Karma What If. They did a collab on what if Deku was a singer slash model, and I love the story. So go check out their channels. I I, I highly recommend them. Those people, and yeah. Oh yeah, and Soul Sweeper 17. He also makes some good videos. Anyway, back onto the story. So they properly raise him until he's 14, and and he knows that he's not human. But once he hits 14, once he hits 14, there's a freak accident in the lab. So they all had to evacuate, but they said to grab the AI, but Deku says, "No, I'll protect you all." And so he pretty much hacked into, what is it? He hacked into the entire building, and he just said, "Everybody, go, 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 go." And so he puts bomb blast doors. He puts all the security stuff up. So the freak accident happens, and so Deku, instead of he's a sentient AI, but the freak accident caused him from an AI to a living AI, a living, breathing, smelling, tasting AI. He can touch, he can feel, he can eat, he can taste, he can smell. He has everything that a normal human would, but you can't touch him because he's an AI. And so what I'm saying is he has complete control over technology and humans. He can control humans also. He can control their bodies, not their actual minds. So once they get out, once the freak accident happens, they go check, and they see a glitching person, and they say, "Is that the AI?" And Deku knows that he's an AI, because they didn't tell him at an early age, but they told him at an age where he can accept it and not feel different. Because Sashi and Inko, they actually think of Deku as their son, and they love him to death. And so he's actually, he comes out. He's actually like, he can wear clothes and stuff. He's naked, like a normal 14-year-old would. So they bring him to the medical bay, and so they put some clothes on him, because it's a naked 14-year-old. So yeah. So yeah, what else? Yeah. So he pretty much has emotions and stuff, like, because it's a living AI. It can feel emotions. It's not like a cold AI, like the not Terminator program, Skynet. I think that's what it was called, Skynet. It's not like Skynet. It's not cold. Deku can like feel stuff. He's mostly happy, but he's knocked out right now, and they check on his body because he has an actual physical body now, and like it's not physical, but once he's like knocked out, and that's the only time he's gonna be knocked out because people can't really touch him. Um, but once well, yeah, you can touch him when he's asleep or knocked out, but that doesn't really happen. And so they check on him. He's an actual human. Like he has a human body, but you know, he's obviously an AI. Like there was no one in there, just the accident happened and it turned the AI human somehow. I'm saying that it was just like a malfunction in, I'm gonna say, what, I'm saying that they had a mini particle accelerator. The particle accelerator went off, and it brought Deku to life and stuff like that. And so he wakes up in the real world, and he's like, "Where am I?" And he sees Hasashi and Inko, and he calls them mom and dad, because he actually thinks of them as parents. Mom, dad, where am I? And they say, "You're in the real world. I don't know how it's possible, but I guess the particle accelerator turned you, living, like human. You can actually touch and feel things. You have a heartbeat." And Deku's like, "What?" And well, they see him glitching, obviously, because I'm just gonna say this for plot. And so, and also he can turn off, you know, uh, people not touching him. Like they can touch him. He can turn that on and off. And so I'm saying he turned he turns 14 like way before an entrance exam. Like the first year of middle school. And he's like really smart and stuff. So, and he actually wants to be a hero. And well, he can't die. I'm also saying that he can't die because he's an AI. AIs can only be deleted, but since he's human, he can't be killed. Like if he was killed, he would just pop back up. Because AIs can't be killed physically; they have to be killed. Well, no, they can be killed physically if you destroy the servers, but you can't kill them physically. Well, because he has a human body. There's no servers connecting him. But yeah, and his brain is pretty much hooked up to. It wasn't hooked up to the internet at a young age, but now it is, and he has pretty much all information. So yeah, he can control robots, cars, any vehicles, any buildings that have technology, pretty much all technology and humans. And I'm gonna and yeah, and I'm saying his hero name is Discord. Yeah, I'm saying his hero name is Discord, and they called it the Discord Project. And so he just took Discord as his hero name. So they say that he can actually, live as a normal human. He doesn't have to stay in that, you know, he just doesn't have to look in here. He can, explore and see what goes on in life. And Deku says, "Really?" And they say yes, but you're gonna have to stay here for a little while. Because, you just came to life out of the mini particle accelerator explosion. Like, how is that even possible? And he says, "I have no clue. Even I don't know this. And I'm the smartest person in the entire world. Well, smartest thing in the entire world. And I have no idea how this happened." So yeah, a week goes by, and they do some tests and stuff. They do tests, and he's pretty much human and stuff, and so he's released with Hasashi and Inko, and the Yararozus are thinking like this could actually work out great for us. But Deku suggests that the Yararozus destroy the project. and they ask why. Well, yeah, they ask why. And Deku says, "Cause if this goes to the masses, imagine what villains could do. They they could create their own AIs for evil and revenge, and imagine like the League of Villains, because he knows everything. There is obviously the League of Villains. He knows that the League of Villains, they can literally make another copy of him and turn him evil." And the Yarosas, they know he's the smartest person in the world, and so they actually destroy the project because they actually listen to him. So he's gonna be the only copy. There are no other backups. They destroy everything. They wipe everything. They even destroy all the technology that, you know, they destroy all the technology that was with the project. But it is gonna be announced that he's not human. He's a he is a living, breathing AI. So yeah, and yeah, he feels emotion and stuff. Um, so the Yarosas, they actually do what he says, because I mean, like, who wouldn't listen to the smartest thing in the entire world? Who wouldn't listen to them? And they know he's right, because they think about it, and they actually think about it and say, yeah, you're right. What if villains got their hands on this technology? It would be the end of the world. And yeah, so yeah. Yeah. So they destroy the entire project, and Deku says, "Make sure to destroy the technology, because, well, actually, he destroys the entire project just like with a snap of his fingers. All data is erased about this project." And he says to Mom and Dad, "I'm sorry, but this is probably the best for mankind. I will be announced at one point, but you know." I can't be erased. I can't be deleted or changed. I'm just gonna be like this for pretty much all of time. Well, from now until when the world ends, if it ends. Like, seriously, what if it ends? Like, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know if I'm technically immortal. Probably. And he's still glitching like this, and like people actually see this person glitching, and they think it's just part of his quirk, because there are quirks in this. And so he lives with Hasashi and Inko, for a couple years, and Hasashi and Inko says, "I think it's time that the masses know." And Deku says, "Yes. The all the technology has been destroyed, and I made sure of it." Like, he destroyed all data, and I'm saying that they had an incinerator, and he threw all the technology that was based around the project. But this was not connected to the internet at all. Well, his brain was connected to the internet, not the technology. So no, and I'm saying, yeah, I'm not saying he wasn't. Yeah, no, I'm saying he's the smartest thing. The technology. His brain was connected to the internet, and like he has like, you know, what is it? Pentagon level security. Uh, virus protection, like that. And the Pentagon, like, imagine the Pentagon security as virus protection, and like times that by 10. So no viruses can, like, get to him. So, yeah. I'm saying, yeah, and there's no one else like him. So he's the only, living AI. And people have tried to do this in the past, but they've completely failed. And so yeah, um, Deku, he's obviously gonna wear the mask as part of his hero suit. With yeah, I'm saying it's gonna have the same symbol as this. So yeah, he lives with them. He lives with Hasashi and Inko for a while, and it's time for and they ask Deku if he wants to be a hero. He says yes, yada yada yada. He goes to the entrance exam. Well, it's the 10 months of training. He trains with his quote unquote quirk, and he gets better at it because he can't really who's only able to control a small section of the building, but now he's been able to control humans and stuff like that. So yeah, it's time for the entrance exam. And also I'm saying that Izuku can phase through objects. Wait, no. Yeah, no. But during that 10 months of training, the Yarozus bring out Deku. It's a public announcement. And the Yarozus tell them what happened, and they say that all data and all technology has been erased for this project. And all the scientists, they have been sworn to secrecy. No, and Deku says I'll erase their memories, because he can control somewhat of the human brain, just their memories, except for Inko and Hasashi. But they know, and the scientists know that their memories were erased, and they will never get them back. And this is just for like security reasons. The Yarozus tell them this is the first living, breathing AI, Izuku Midoriya. I mean Project Discord. And Izuku just pops out of the ground. Well, he climbs out of the ground, sort of, and people see that he's glitching, and he looks like this, and he's wearing the mask also. And he says, "Hi, my name is Izuku Midoriya. I am Project Discord. I am not human. I am and am not. I was brought to life by a freak accident, but I'm an AI. If that makes sense, who knows? Um. So yeah, that announcement. The people ask questions, and they say, Mr. Yarozu doesn't tell them about the project being destroyed, because I'm just gonna say this for plot, and they ask, one of the questionnaires ask if this is gonna be if this is gonna be brought to the masses, and Mr. Yarozu was about to speak, and Deku says no, this will not be brought to the masses. Because if this was brought to the masses, imagine what villains could do with this technology. They could literally rule the world, and the world would become in chaos and destruction. The world would end. No human would be left living. And he says it in a serious tone. And so they shut up about, if this is going to be brought to the masses and stuff. So yeah, and then, they continue the 10 months of training, and now it's the UAA entrance exam, because I only have 35 minutes. Yeah, so, he walks through the building, literally walks through the building, because no physical object can touch him. And and what is it called? The Yarozus, because Izuku actually thinks of the Yarozus as their aunt and uncle, and what's it called? And what Momo as his cousin, because he actually thinks of them as family. Because they come over, they check up on him. Momo comes over to play and stuff, and and Izuku teaches her about how to use her quirk better and stuff like that. So they also train together for the 10 months, and they think and they he actually calls them auntie and uncle, and they don't mind because they actually think it's kind of cute, and 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 he calls Momo his cousin. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, she calls Momo. Yeah, his cousin. Yeah, whatever. Sorry, I was really confused on that. I don't know why. So yeah, it's time for the entrance exam, and they're both getting recommendations from both of them from the Yarozus, and stuff like that. And Deku says, like, he's not lazy. He does get tired, but like just from overusing his abilities, he only gets tired from that. He doesn't get tired from anything else, and but he does get hungry and thirsty. And I'm also adding another ability of where he can pretty much manipulate his body into whatever he wants to. And so they get in through recommendation. They have to take the do they have to did Momo even take the entrance exam? No, cuz she got through the I don't know if they even did the robots. Did they even do the robots? I mean, no. Yeah. So, and I'm saying that his middle name is Yarozu. And sort of, he decides to give himself a middle name of Izuku Yarozu Midoriya, as sort of a contribute to the Yarozus. And he says his full name. And yeah, and stuff like that. He doesn't have to do the entrance exam. So does Momo. They just have to do the what did I say? The recommendation exam. And Deku just aces it with flying colors. Like, his score is beyond Nezu's. Like, imagine Nezu is at like 50. Deku is at 100. Like, he's beyond Nezu. And Nezu's like supposed to be the smartest person in the world. Smartest thing in the world. But he's not. Deku is now. Yes. And Deku is placed in 1A and stuff. And so it's the first day of. Also, I'm also adding teleportation because what AI wouldn't have teleportation? Like, come on, he's a glitching AI, and he's always wearing the mask. He doesn't take it off because it's sort of it has a what's it called? It has a suppressor of his glitchiness. Because I'm saying that that like the not the entire like because this was like sometimes he could glitch out really bad of where he can just pretty much disappear for like 3 days and then reappear. Like, that's how bad it was. Because it was a freak accident. Like, there are gonna be side effects. So he wears this all the time and stuff. so he doesn't really, talk to Ida or Bakugo or anything. And so it's 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 the first day of the UA, and he has information about everybody. He knows All Might's gonna be there, but he doesn't look up to All Might. He he looks up to who did he doesn't look up to anybody. Well, he does look up to his mom and dad, and he says the only reason why I'm here is to make my mom and dad proud and stuff. And so yeah, it's the first day of the and it's the first day of UA. Everybody gets in. Everybody gets into canon. Everybody that's in canon gets in there, and so and then Izuku like arrives late because I'm saying some his leg sort of glitched out because he forgot to put on because I'm saying that he has to wear no, like he forgot his mask, and so he had to run back really quickly because I'm saying that he was running this day, and so he was there late, and he says, "Sorry everybody, I'm late." And everybody just looks at him, and they just see this glitching person, and like Ida says, "It's very disrespectful for being late," and yada yada yada. Just goes off on Deku. Okay, and Deku says, "I'm sorry, but I have to, you know, if I don't want to die, I have to wear this mask, and I forgot the mask, so fuck off." And like Ida says, "What?" Yes, and Deku says, "Yes. If I want to live, I have to wear this mask." Um, I have to wear this. I have to wear this mask. So, and he says to Ida, "Screw off," and you know, and they see him glitching. He still glitches, but it's not as bad as when he forgets the mask or anything. Um, so he says his full name. My name is Izuku Yarozu Midoriya, and so they ask, Are you related to Momo Yarozu?" And he says, "No, I'm not related to um what's it called? Cousin Yarozu." And they're like, "Cousin? Yeah, we're not family. We're not related by blood. I don't think I even have blood. Do I?" He actually thinks about it. And he says, "I don't have blood." Holy crap, how did I forget about this? Like, he literally says that out loud. And they're all like, "What?" And he says, "Oh, yeah, I'm not human." And they're like, "What?" I, I, and, they see him, he's still glitching. And they all say, "So what's your quirk?" Oh, and he says, "I'm quirkless." And then they say, how did a quirkless person get into UA? "I'm not a person. I'm an AI. I'm a living, breathing AI." Have you guys not seen the press conference of the Odd Roses telling them that they have an AI? And like some of them say yes, that's me. And they say, "Oh, so wait, you're not human?" And Deku just rubs his temples and he says, "Yes, I'm not human. But I still need to eat, sleep, and hydrate. Those are eat, sleep, hydrate, and breathe. Like, that's all." Well, the only reason why I need to sleep is so my abilities can recharge, because they take out stamina. Well, they don't take out stamina. They just, uh, they take out what I like to call stamina, but it's obviously not stamina to you people. and I have a lot of it, but each time I fall asleep because I like sleeping on a soft bed and stuff. And then Mr. Aizawa comes in and he sees just Deku just still glitching and stuff, and he says, "Aren't you the kid that? Aren't you the AI?" And he says, "Oh yes, Mr. Aizawa." And they say, "Who?" "Oh yeah, he's our homeroom teacher, Mr. Aizawa, aka Eraserhead." And he says, "How do you know that?" "My brain is hooked up to the internet, and I have like every UA file on my mind, so I know everybody. I know all the quirks." Katsuki Bakugo, Quirk explosion, uh, Ejiro Kirishima, um, Quirk hardening, uh, Mina Ashido. Wait, no, is it Mina Ashido or Suyu Ashido? Or uh, yeah, Mina. I think it's Mina Ashido. Quirk acid. What is it? Shoto Todoroki, half and half quirk, half fire, half ice. And he pretty much lists off everybody's quirk, and they're like surprised that he knows everything, and he says, "Yeah, I know every hero and every villain. I know all the quirks. Like I'm pretty much I'm a human internet, pretty much. Like everything has been recently uploaded is automatically downloaded into my brain, and then I know everything. That's why I pretty much got a recommendation, and that's why that's why I only needed a recommendation exam for one, because I would pretty much place first place if without even trying." And Bakugo says, "Oh yeah?" And Deku says, "Yes, I can control people and all technology. And I know that the robots would, they're technically technology, so I can destroy them with just a snap of my fingers. And I can pretty much phase through any object, and I can teleport. So, well, what you humans call teleportation, it's just an instant step for me." Excuse me. And I can pretty much mold my body into whatever I want to. So, yeah. And he says, also, All Might's teaching here. Did I forget to mention that? And they were like, "What?" Even Momo was surprised, like, "What?" "Yeah, All Might's teaching here." No, I mean, wait, no, they're not surprised, because they got the letter and stuff. So, yeah. And so pretty much everything goes same to canon. It's time for the quirk apprehension test, and Izuka says, "Do I have to take it?" And Aizawa says, "I don't know." Like literally, because you don't have a quirk, but you're like this. And yeah, I know that you're a living AI, but like, how strong are you? And he says, hold on, let me think about this. All Might, when he was in his prime times the universe? And like he says that like that's just to put it in simple terms. I mean, no. Prime All Might plus Earth's gravity times 5. I think that's pretty much accurate. I think that's accurate. I don't remember. Hold on. And he's just calculating in his head. Yeah, that's pretty much the only way. He says this out loud. This is the only way that I can put it into simple terms. And they're all surprised, like, what? Simple? What's the, and they're like, that's simple? Yeah, and he says, yeah, do you guys really want me to go into detail? And this would probably take like a year to explain of how strong I actually am. Like, it's an unsolvable equation. Like, my power just, it's infinite, pretty much. My power is infinite. I'm like, that's like it's really close to infinite. It's not there yet. It's just really close. And they're all like, what? And Aizawa says, yeah, I don't think you have to take this because I'm not really gonna expel you, because I mean you're technically AI. You could literally just take it again, ace it. You're pretty much gonna ace everything. So what's the point? And so I'm actually gonna do a what is it? Who am I gonna do? You know what? I'm gonna go with Deku X Mei Hatsume, right? No, I'm gonna say Melissa Shield, because I'm actually giving Melissa Quirk, and she's in UA. She's replacing Mineta because fuck Mineta, and I'm saying that she has a. I'm saying she has like what is it what is it called? What is it? A Sorry if I'm because I forget what quirk I was gonna give her, because I just thought of this on the spot. It's called infinite technology, of where she can combine technology and manipulate technology. So, and they were introduced and stuff, and so Deku actually has feelings for her, and she actually has feelings for him, and he's somewhat blunt, and so he's gonna ask her out after this, and so yeah, and he pretty much has like a lot of money because he the Yarosus because the Midoriyas, they work for the Yarosus, so they make a lot of bank, and they were pretty much the lead engineers. I mean, lead scientists for this project, and so yeah, they have a lot of money. So yeah, excuse me. So yeah, it's time. Yeah. So Mr. Aizawa says, yeah, you don't have to take it. Like if what would happen if you threw the ball at full power? And he says, hold on, let me think. I would split an atom in half. And he says, what? Yes, I said I would be able to split an atom in half. And he says, how is that even possible? And Deku says, I don't even know. If I split an atom in half, half of the entire world is gonna be just gone. So it's probably like best if I don't use my full strength, because I can pretty much wipe out the entire world. Like, I'm that strong. And he's saying this like bluntly, and he's not being cocky at all, and like, because they know he's like pretty much the smartest thing. I'm making him way too overpowered. I know this. Okay, leave me alone. Ugh. But yeah, no, he after like everything, after the school day, and he goes up to May, and like, this is like at the end of class. Zuko and May are packing up their things. Everybody else left. Momo was just waiting for Deku because they're gonna go study after this. Well, Deku doesn't really go study. They're just gonna go train and stuff. And so Deku actually asks Melissa out on a date, and like the first day, and like she's like, "Wow, um, yes," and Izuku's like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah, I have feelings for you too." Like she's like, "Yeah, I have feelings for you too," like in a soft and sweet voice, and and he's like, "Okay, what time should I pick you up?" Like, cause he pretty much has no age. He can't age. He can just manipulate his body to age, but he doesn't age at all. So he has a driver's license and a motorcycle license. Cause I'm just saying this for plot. Cause fuck it. And so yeah, um, he he says, I'll make plans for Sunday what Sunday? What time should I pick you up? And she says, I don't know, 9. And he says, sweet, I'll pick you up at 9. And so he's like, he walks off, and he's like, yes, 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 yes. And Momo sees this, and she asks what happened, and Deku says, I just asked a girl on a date, all confident, and she's like, what? And and then Melissa just walks out, sort of red, and and Momo's like, oh, okay, and so like he doesn't actually have physical clothing. Clothes. He just sort of manipulates his body to add clothes. And so it's the next day. It's the hero versus villains test thing. All Might says like, I'm coming in like a normal person. And Izuku, wears his mask. He can take off the mask and just like wear a collar that, that suppresses his glitchiness. And so, he says, I'm walking in like a normal person, yada yada yada. And so it's Melissa and Deku on a team versus Ida and Bakugo. And so, and they both go red on, like, because they're on the team. And people notice this, and they're like, oh. So Mr. Know-It-All asked her, ooh, are they together? Sorry, guys. I don't remember what that's for. Uh, oh, it's 12. Oh, that was the time I was supposed to be recording. And I just started early because, cause I just want to get it out of the way. And I'm, like, really hungry right now. Like, holy crap, why am I so hungry? So yeah, it's the hero versus villain test, and they go out. And Bakugo charges first because, he like despises Deku, and he somewhat sees Deku as a rival, so he wants to take Deku down first. And but Deku says, "So should you take him or should I?" And she's like, "I think I should take him. I mean, I think you should take him because you would be better at this, and I would take Ida." And so yeah, Deku just says okay, and he just holds out his hand and he said stop, and Bakugo just freezes in place, and Bakugo speaks like, what? Why can't I move? And Deku says, did you forget that I can control people and technology. Like, it's not that hard. Sorry, I just had to crack my neck. Um, so yeah, he says stop, and he says stand in attention, and so he stands like in, and he stands like, he stands like not in salute, but like how people would stand in salute, but he doesn't have, he doesn't salute. He stands at attention, and so he says get on the floor. Bakugo gets on the floor, and Bakugo says, "What? Why am I? Ah, you damn." Because he actually can't think of an insult, because it's an AI, and he doesn't really want to mess with an AI. Well, he does somewhat mess with an AI, but not really. And well, he's not really that hot tempered because he hasn't really met Deku. He didn't meet Deku or anything. So yeah, so he he says he says get on the floor, lift your legs up, and grab your legs with your hands, and he hog and and then Bakugo does what Deku said, and and then Deku just uses the cabbage tape and just wraps his hands around his feet, and he's pretty much hogtied at the point, and he says release. Ugh. Sorry, I thought I had to burp. Ugh. Um, Never mind. Anyway, and Bakugo's released, and then we cut to Melissa. She just took down, um, you know, and Deku told her where to go. She told her where to go, and now she took down Ida with ease, because I'm saying that she has robotic arms as part of her hero costume, and she just took down Ida easily. Um, because obviously robotic arms, and so yeah, and I'm saying that the USJ was like 1 week after this. So yeah, and now let's cut to Saturday. It's now Saturday. It's around, I'm gonna say 7. Deku wakes up at 6. He takes showers because he's not an idiot, and he says, "Okay, well, I got a date," and like Inko and Hasashi are like, "What?" Oh yeah, and he says, "Oh yeah, did I forget to tell you? I have a date," and they say with who? Melissa Shield, and they know like who the Shields are, you know. And they say, "Oh, okay." Wait, Melissa Shield? And he says, "Yeah." And I gotta get ready because I'm picking her up at 9, and I'm thinking of which car I should take, the Lamborghini, or something more of a classic, like like a Dodge Challenger, like the Dodge Challenger that we have, and 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 then Hasashi says, I think you should take the Hellcat. I think you should take the Hellcat." Really, the Hellcat? Well, I was more thinking of like a sport car. Maybe the R8, the Audi R8. And I think and I think Hasashi like, yeah, that's good, but then we have the what was it, the Nova. But Deku says the Nova is way too loud, and you know how much gas that's on. we have to pay so much gas for that thing. Uh, and and Sashi's like, yeah, you're right. I think you should go for the Audi if you want that. And so he grabs the Audi. Deku, he puts on not a suit but like casual clothes. And so he's still glitching and stuff, but he's obviously wearing the collar, and it's not like a noticeable. Well, you can notice the collar; it's around his neck, obviously, but the collar looks like. Hold on. The collar looks like this collar. Also, did I forget to mention none of these pictures look like mine? But instead of the heart, it's a hazard symbol. It's a hazard symbol like on his mask. Um. Yeah. Excuse me. It's a hazard symbol like his mask. And Deku. He grabs the Audi. Also, he is wearing this, but minus the bandages, and he has the earrings. So yeah, he rolls up in the R8 Audi R8, and Melissa says, "Who's that?" And then Deku just walks. He opens the door and he says, "Hi, Melissa. I'm here to pick you up for our date." And Melissa's like, "What?" And Deku says, "Yeah, I can." And Melissa's like, "What? You can drive?" And Deku says, "Yeah, I don't really have an age. I can literally control my entire body. Like, I could look 100 years. I could look 100 years old, but I would just be, I could look like I'm in my 30s if I wanted to. Like, and the Yarozu's. I mean, and he's like, yeah. So I pretty much have a license for driving a vehicle and motorcycle. So it's legal. And this is one of my cars. I have like what? I have a Lamborghini, uh, a Hellcat, this R8, and a Chevy Nova. I think it was a Chevy Nova. I forget. Uh, no, he has he has a Chevy Nova. Cause I like Chevy Novas, but they're not cheap, but they're really expensive when it comes to gas, cause it goes down gas like a monster. And so Melissa says, "Oh, okay," and and so Deku says, "I would like to take you somewhere." And so um, I'm saying, he drives to Dagobah Beach. He parks his car and he pops the trunk, and so he says, "So, what about a beach date?" And she's wearing casual clothes, and she's like, "Okay." And he grabs like a blanket and he grabs a blanket, umbrella, and some food. And so they talk, and it's getting to sunset, and he says, "Okay, this is the part where I want you to just look out into the ocean, just look." And she's like, "It's beautiful." And and Deku says, what else is beautiful?" And she's like, "What?" "You." And he kisses her, and she's wide-eyed and like, "What?" And like he doesn't she doesn't say what, obviously, because kissing. and she kisses him back. So they just start making out on the beach and stuff. And that's pretty much where I'm gonna end it for today. Um. Well, I guess see you guys next time.